So you said you left Germany when you were 12.
Yes.
Okay. And that was part of, what was that part of?
That was at the very end of 1938.
Okay.
I went to England,
Okay.
and then in the fall of 1940, not quite 2 years later, we came to the U.S.
You came with your family?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
when I left Germany, it was just my sister, my brother, and I. Because the Nazis had invalidated the passports of German Jews. They gave them to children, so as I said, the three of us left Germany at the very, very end of 1938, just before New Year's, going to England. Fortunately, our parents were able to come to England also about 3 months later.
Okay.
And then in September 1940, we came to the U.S.
Now, where in the U.S. did you live?
I'm sorry?
Where in the U.S. did you live?
Where what?
Where did you live in the United States when you came to the States? Where did you
In a
live?
place I think you've heard of, Albany.
So you grew up in Albany? Have you always been here?
Went to high school in Albany. Went on to RPI.
Okay.
Was drafted during World War II. Was drafted into the Army. Served 2 years. Ended up in Japan with the occupation army right after the war was over.
Okay.
Spent almost a year in Japan and Korea. Came back, finished up at RPI.
That's fantastic. And did you get married?
I'm sorry?
Did you get married and have a family?
Oh, yes. I worked after graduating from RPI. I lived and worked here in Albany for a short time. Then in Pittsburgh for a short time.
Okay.
And then to Chicago. Lived in Chicago 15 years.
I lived in Chicago too. I loved it. I loved Chicago.
Where in Chicago did you live?
I was in the Lincoln Park area.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And then I lived actually after that right outside of Chicago. I lived in Lombard, which is like Chicago land. Lombard, and there's like a bunch of like hamlets out there.
Yeah, I worked in Chicago for about 15 years.
Okay.
After about 4 or 5 years, we moved to Wilmette,
Okay. I know where that is.
just north of Evanston.
Mm-hmm. I know that area. Yep.
Then it came. You remember the Marina City Towers in downtown Chicago?
I think so, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. Yep.
I was one of the principal engineers designing them.
Wow.
And
That's
then
amazing.
spent over 2 years in the field monitoring the construction.
That's fantastic.
At the time, they were the tallest concrete structures in the world, as well as the tallest residential buildings in the world, 60 stories.
Right. Wow. That's amazing.